So it's time to take a look at the CM11. Now this is one very interesting vehicle since it does seem to have a lot of explosive armor protection, but I'm not really sure how effective that will be against tandem missiles. It has a 100mm main gun, 48km top speed, reverse 8km per hour, it weighs 54 tons, 4 km, average penetration of 400mm, 5-second reload. Now this vehicle does remind me on the M48, whole does seem like a modernized version of the M48, although at the same time it also does look like the M60, so that's honestly a very very fun looking tank. I can't really pinpoint what it actually is. I mean, from the back it looks like an M48, from the front not really sure, and the turret is I think the M60, I don't know. In any case, this is a very interesting vehicle for this platoon since it is well protected against missiles. Well, and just when I said that, I took a tandem missiles, and obviously tandem missiles will go through the armor, but it survived. So, well, I mean, the loader did not survive, but I'm still not dead, and that's a good thing. Has APFSDS, has all sorts of heat-based shells and high explosive. I use the darts, and of course I use high explosive. High explosive is good against lightly armored vehicles like that ATGM car, for example. ATGM car or ATGM bus, yeah, that's a car, has only 4 wheels, so can't really call that vehicle a bus or a box in this case. But surprisingly, despite this vehicle being very similar to some of the tier 7 and tier 8 vehicles, it is actually really good. I think I had a lot more success with the CM11 than I've had with the ZTZ96. I mean, at the end of the day, it just matters it has a good gun and good ammo. That's the only thing that I need. The reload though, I would say the best thing about this vehicle is definitely the reload. It does reload at about 5 seconds. I'm fairly sure this is a autoloader, but I could be wrong. But it is able to do some serious damage with that autoloader. Now the downside of the vehicle is the slower reverse gear, and it does seem a little bit slower than the ZTZ. And I have to say it does feel like it's less armored than the ZTZ. But honestly, at the end of the day, in top tier, armor doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter if you have like 1mm or if you have 1,000. A ATGM will still go through, APFSDS will still go through, heat will also go through, so yeah. At the end of the day, the most important thing on a tank or a vehicle, armor vehicle in top tier, is what type of main gun or rockets or missile it's able to hit at the enemy. That's the most important thing about top tier. And I mean, maybe there's one vehicle that is not really that doesn't really follow the same rule, and that's the T55 AMD. That vehicle has active protection system and actually works really well. Now, speaking of a active protection system, I don't really notice any APS on this vehicle. It does only have like explosive reactive armor. Besides that, I don't really see any other modern protection on. I mean, modern protection, modern for the game. APS is something that only the T55 AMD has at the moment, to my knowledge. Now, this vehicle does have some machine guns, has actually 2 machine guns, decent. I have armor piercing belts installed on them, which means that it's able to, it definitely able to cut through some light armor. He's also able to go through the armor on revenge bombers, also very important. And I am about to get revenge bombed, or not. Okay, I'm good. Yeah, let's just go back to my previous position here. Now this vehicle, I mean, this vehicle is on the slower side. It's not too slow, but it's obviously not going to win any speed records, which is honestly fine. It doesn't have to be fast. So it's more of a passive vehicle, designed for medium to long distance engagements, and it is able to snipe. You are able to also rush some positions with it. You're able to rush positions, rush base, rush cap points and stuff like that. But I personally prefer this vehicle as a sniper. Good ammo, good gun. Technically able to bounce some shells if you're angled, but at the same time I don't really rely on armor myself. So this vehicle is definitely very similar to the Magach, I believe. That's very similar to the Magach platoon actually, when it comes to the performance, and it does feel like those vehicles actually. With the speed, with the overall design, and with the armor as well as the main gun, it does look like one of the Magach vehicles. Which is, by the way, a very good platoon. Very decent platoon, very good platoon. Was really fun to drive them around. That was a revenge bomber, by the way. Sometimes not having a very fast tank is actually a good thing, since you can't really rush with something this, well, not slow, but other vehicles that are faster will be ahead of you, and they might get yeeted while you still have a chance to yeet the enemy vehicles while they're reloading. So there is a thing that kind of works really well for the slower tanks, and let's say DCA was destroyed. I mean, I love the reload on this thing. It's just so fast. That reload is definitely gold. And oh, there you go, more bombs. And that's kill number 10. I don't care. That's kill number 10. But of course, the game doesn't count it. Oh well. It was a fail, but wasn't a bad match, to be honest. Wasn't a bad match. Let's go to the next one. So, I mean, as you can see, the vehicle does play really well so far. I mean, it's definitely playable, definitely good, and it is kind of weird since I'm in a position where I played so many tanks, premium and non-premium tanks, that I can start to compare them with one another. And honestly, this honestly feels like playing the Magach platoon again, which is very good. And this vehicle, if we compare it to the ZT-96, does have some good gun depression, which means that you can take advantage of some hold-down positions with the CM11. Also, fun fact, the CM20 is a ATGM box. The CM11 is a main battle bank. I don't know why the developers didn't really put a CM only platoon. I think that would be pretty interesting to have the CM11 and CM20 in the same platoon. Maybe there will be more. I mean, I know that the customizable platoons are a thing that's going to be added in the game at one point. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. In any case, this vehicle so far has been performing really well. That shell velocity, being 8 PFSDS, means that it's going to be very quick. So you don't really have to aim that much. Just aim at the target basically, and aim and fire basically. That's just how the magic dart works. And I would say this vehicle will do really well in realistic battles. when they add realistic battles, of course, which should not be that far off. That was actually a good hit. Did not expect the ammo to be detonated, but okay. Yeah, I'm looking at the front of the vehicle, and I don't know. I mean, I'm confused, really. Like, confused but not confused. The front plate is definitely more sloped than the M48. The frontal plate is definitely more sloped than the M60. But the back of the vehicle is a identical copy to the M48 and M60. They did some voodoo magic with this tank for sure. Or maybe it's the same hull, but just looks so much different because of the extra added layers of protection. And I have to say, it's kind of funny to have like explosive reactive armor protection in a tier where tandem missiles are being handed out like candy. We all know tandem missiles fly through explosive reactive armor, and I mean, not only tandem missiles but even the normal ATGMs, they're still able to fly through the explosive protection. I think we will also get like more advanced APS with some other vehicles. Forgot which has the most advanced APS. I believe the AMX B2 also has the same thing, but it's not added for the vehicle for some reason. For balancing reasons, I guess, I don't know. Might actually be added to the AMX B2 now after it's released for the T55 APS. We will see. Not APS, T55 AMD. The AMD tank. Does it have a Radeon GPU? Probably. Like my phone has one. I kind of risked shooting at that thing there. Of course, the main gun is stabilized. Would be a shame if it wasn't stabilized. I feel like stabilizer is a must-have for top tier, and there are some vehicles that don't have a stabilizer in top tier, which is kind of weird. But I really feel like in top tier a stabilizer is a must-have since everything else has a stabilizer, so not having one is a huge drawback. Not having a stabilizer is a huge drawback, that's for sure. So this vehicle does have everything that you need. You have it in this vehicle.
Another zone captured, we have the advantage.
That was a good hit. I was aiming at the back of the tank since the ammo is stored at the back. And well, surprisingly the ammo did detonate for once. One of those, like, that happens once every 300 battles when I hit ammo storage directly. Usually it doesn't blow up because I guess just doesn't want to blow up. But now it actually did, so not going to complain about that. But yeah, that was the CM11 main battle tank, a second tank of the ZTZ-96 platoon, which I would say is decent. Definitely a good vehicle. Was fun driving it around. Was definitely fun driving it around. Cannot complain about this tank, it's good. And well, with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed. If you would like to support me, feel free to like and subscribe. And with that being said, stay safe. As always, I'll see you next time.